I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. To me, personally, it don't matter what your nationality is, no matter what your race, the color of your skin, it don't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, or religious beliefs may be, I still greet you. You can be the richest person on the face of this earth, and you can be the poorest, you can be homeless, and I still greet you with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Today is Thursday, May the 30th, 2019. The time being 6:10 p.m. I'm coming today like I always come. I'd like to greet all of my Muslim brothers and sisters all around the world that's honoring Ramadan with the universal greetings of Ramadan Mubarak. I'd like to also greet them and everybody else with the universal greetings of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And to those who are starting chaos, or those of you all that choose to follow the spirit that tries to corrupt or get a person off focus of what they're doing, I like to say, Awudu Bilad Himanaz Satan Nirajim. I seek refuge with God from Satan, the rejected enemy. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. You know, when I say in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, I'm talking about a universal God. A God that I believe that cares about all human beings all around the world. You know, what I want to try to focus on today, like I always do, it's about respect. You know, when you have respect, love, peace, and all that come together. You see, what's wrong today, some people envy other people because God didn't give them certain talents. You see, God may gave you a talent to teach people how to box or do martial arts. You see what I'm saying? He may gave another person the art or talent to build things. You see what I'm saying? He may give somebody else the talent to be a landscaper, even though I do my own landscaping. But you know, God gave me a talent, and I put my talent to use. God gave me a voice. I can take that voice. All right now, doing good. How about yourself? All right, all right. But God gave me a voice, and I chose to use my voice in a positive manner. You know, some people used to call me a racist. Some call me a menace to society. Some call me a rapist, pedophile, sexual predator. They call me all that. But you see, one thing about it, I know for a fact that I'm none of those. You see, ain't no judge or no law enforcement official allow a person with all that to be raising a 13 and a 14-year-old daughters rather. And then they wouldn't allow, the government wouldn't allow a person with that type of status to take care of their 91, soon to be 92-year-old World War II honorably discharged veteran dad. You see, now, here in Charleston, Missouri, you got a lot of good people. You see, then you got some bad seeds. Some was raised by bad seeds, and you can kind of tell them. But everybody that's out here that's starting chaos is not necessarily been raised by bad seed. Some went astray. See, I went astray when I was young. It wasn't because my mother and my dad didn't discipline me or taught me right, but I got into foolishness. But nothing like today. You see what I'm saying? But you see, the black community in Charleston, the west side, you got to wake up now. You see what I'm saying? Even if you don't like me, you got to wake up and take inventory. You see what I'm saying? You have to take inventory to see what's going on here. Now, you look on some of these people's Facebook pages and you listen to some of these individuals that call themselves preachers. You would think they pimps. You know, you look on their pages and look at some of the people they comment on certain people's pages. You would see that they side with corruption. You see what I'm saying? They are what you call wolves in sheep clothes. The Bible tells you about it. The Bible also tells you about that dog to beware of. In Philippians, the 3rd chapter, the 2nd verse, it says, beware of those dogs, those evildoers. You got a lot of them, y'all. Now, when you see, I'm talking about black people now. Some of these black people that stay in the newspaper, the local newspaper, they don't read national newspaper, but in the local newspaper saying what they doing for the community, for children and other people. You take a look at them and then take a look at what they doing. Take a look around in the black neighborhood and tell me what have they built besides churches and family centers that's doing nothing for the communities. But now, we must, when I say we, me too, even though I'm planning on moving out of here, me too, we got to try to find enough love and weed these troublemakers out of the way. You follow what I'm saying? And find an organization, if we have to form it ourselves, form an organization that's gonna stand up against when police in this area disrespect black folks. And you have it. I got documentation. What 3 or 4 of them did me, and I went to complain about it, and the chief of police done nothing. Because it's Raymond Lewis Ivy. But you see, what's that gonna cause? Everybody is not gonna accept the disrespect from the police officer. When you wear a badge, hey now, when you wear a badge, you're supposed to serve and protect everybody, whether you like them or not. When I worked on the ambulance in the 80s in Chicago, when I picked up white people that didn't like blacks and called me the N-word, guess what? I used what we call psychological first aid, and I still made sure I stabilized that person and took them to the hospital, whether I liked them or not. You see what I'm saying? But you don't have that here. And that's why you have a big turnout on the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, because of the fact the higher ranking officials is not doing their job. When you allow your officers to not do their job, you allow them to disrespect people, violate people's constitutional rights, then the people no longer have respect for you. You see what I'm saying? People have no more respect for you. And see, why you getting away with it is because these people that you self-appointed, ain't nothing wrong with getting government money, but if you're getting government money and you forming organizations like Justice for All, NAACP, hey now, doing all right? Trying to send a peaceful message out, trying to get unity in the community. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And all these other groups getting this government money, then let's try to have somebody to be able to speak up. What if the police don't, since we know some of them don't like me, not all dislike me, but when they don't like me, if they kill me, then the first thing they'll say, well, he had a violent record. He had homicides on his record. That has nothing to do with it. I'm not interested. That has nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? What was your purpose for killing me? The same reason, the same situation, if I'm out here videoing somebody that's saying something negative about me, if you can get an outstanding warrant for me and make me bond out, then you do the same thing when people do something to me. But that's not happening. You see what I'm saying? You know why it's not happening? Because ain't enough love in the community. Ain't enough people that's standing on the truth here in this town. You know, ain't enough leaders that's standing on unity and peace for all people. You see what I'm saying? It's like I told you before, the NAACP, until they show me difference, I think they need to change their name to the NAACCP, the National Association for the Advancement of Certain Colored People. You see, black people need some help in this town. You see what I'm saying? You know, some of us felons, we don't want to pick up guns because certain police allow certain felons to do something to some of us felons. But when we get ready to retaliate, or when we get ready to stand up, we breaking the law. I'm gonna leave, all right now, I'm gonna leave you with this. Charleston, Missouri can be way better than it is on the west side. You see what I'm saying? You got to start complaining about some of these corrupted police in the Charleston, Missouri Police Department. And if the high ranking ain't gonna do nothing about it, that's when lawsuits come in. You see, you don't have to get violence. You know, when a police can sit here and cuss you out, when a police can sit here and not respond to your complaint and not put what you tell them what happened in your complaint, then something is wrong with that. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this here. These people on this shirt, with the exception of the former President Barack Obama, the rest of them, they died. They gave their lives for us. Harriet Tubman, she had the Underground Railroad, and maybe that's what we need again, an Underground Railroad to get things right. It's something to think about, whether you like me or not. If I'm making sense, all right now, if I'm making sense, you need to try to do something before it's too late. Like I said, I'm planning on moving because there's no future here for my two daughters, especially with the condition the way Charleston, Missouri is now in the black community. I go and sit up in that courtroom, I don't see none of these black leaders that be in the newspaper. I don't see none of them up in that courtroom. You see what I'm saying? All I see in this reality, the judges are white, the state's attorneys are white, the public defenders and the lawyers are white. One black lawyer from, I think, Cape, that work out of Cape but live in Illinois. One black lawyer come from St. Louis every now and then. But you can't blame them people up there. If they going to get the education, somebody else need to get the education, or some of these leaders need to try to get some of these people, instead of just working on every summer to get these food programs, get these basketball games. That can't help us at all. But I'm going to leave now with the universal greetings of peace, and the blessings of God be with you. Peace.